Planned Parenthood is a main issue in our country today. If you have watched the Republican debate, it was brought up and it was very, very effective by Carly Fiorina. She actually challenged Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama to watch the videos of Planned Parenthood today and how they take newborns that are alive and actually put them in chemicals to make them stop breathing and stop moving. They depict the organs for harvesting and then they ship them out to scientists to do studies on them. However, today I'm not here to tell you what is right and what is wrong. I'm here to inform you on what Planned Parenthood is and what exactly they do. And then you can have that information and make your own opinions. I'm going to tell you their slight history and their original purpose. And their statistics today and how it is operated and their current political accusations. Their original purpose is actually created by Margaret Sanger. She opened the first birth control clinic in the country, and she was actually arrested because it went against the Comstock Act. However, with that trial going on in the country, a lot of people were paying attention to it, and she formed many people who were interested in having a birth control clinic and things like that. So she got a ton of donations, and then she founded the American Birth Control League in 1921. This actually changed its name to Planned Parenthood in 1942 because some people were offended by that original name. Planned Parenthood's mission is to directly provide reproductive and complementary health services, to advocate public policy, to educate, and to promote research in reproductive healthcare technology. Their services that they provide include birth control, emergency contraception, screening and prevention of breast cancer, cervical and testicular cancers, pregnancy counseling, testing and treatment of sexually transmitted diseases, sex education programs, menopause treatments, vasectomies, and abortion. So they do provide a very wide range of treatments and services. Each year, 12% of their patients get an abortion. They are the largest abortion organization in the country. Today, they consist of 174 affiliates and 700 health clinics in the United States and abroad. The Planned Parenthood annual report shows that the organization has provided 3.6 million contraceptive services, 4.5 million sexually transmitted disease services, and over 325,000 abortion services. These services are paid for by federal and private state funding. According to the annual report, again, their total revenue was $1.3 billion non-government health service revenue of $305 million and government revenue of $528 million. Private contributions of $391 million and $77 million other operating revenue. So they get funded by many different ways. They receive about 1/3 of their money in government grants and contracts. And by law, this is interesting, they cannot be allocated for abortion. So the money they get, they can't put towards abortions, except for they kind of figured out a way, an argument that if they get the money and it's kind of like in this pool of money, that they can take that money and put it towards abortion, if you get what I mean. So they're trying to find a way around doing that. Planned Parenthood is also funded by private donors such as the Buffett Foundation and the Ford Foundation. According to the New York Times, Planned Parenthood is well known for providing services to minorities and the poor. So that is their main demographics, is the minorities and the poor. 75% of their clients have incomes at or below 150% of the federal poverty level. The same fact sheet also shows that 16% of their clients are teenagers 20 years old and younger. So their current state and its place in politics. The modern organization is an advocate for reproductive rights. This includes contributing to sponsorships of abortion rights. They also contribute to women's rights and events. So anything to do with abortions or women's rights, they are behind, and they try to support them. Planned Parenthood also believes that laws requiring parental notification before an abortion is performed on a minor are unconstitutional and violates their privacy. So meaning, if one of these teenagers goes in for an abortion, they think that they shouldn't have to let their parents know, because it's not they're saying it's not their parents' choice. So if they're under 18, they think that they shouldn't involve their parents with getting an abortion. They are also against requiring ultrasounds before abortion, and also requirements that have waiting periods before abortions. So this organization believes that if anyone wants an abortion, right now it's kind of required that they have an ultrasound first. They don't want them to have one because it makes them more hard to get the abortion done. And they also think that there shouldn't be a waiting period, and that they should be able to get an abortion even after that time limit. That in 2003 it became illegal, like after a certain, I think it's the second trimester, that you can't have an abortion because it's illegal. Well, they're against that. It is the largest single provider of abortions in the U.S. with 291,000 abortions annually. Some members of the Congress, mainly Republicans, have been trying to defund the organization since the 1980s, and that almost shut the government down in 2011. Pro-life activists have periodically posed as victims of rape to show that the organization does things against the law. So these activists actually went into their facilities and posed as rape victims, and like they played the minority cards and all that, and they videotaped it. And actually many of the Planned Parenthood workers were disciplined and fired because they were doing things illegally. And yeah, and then also another organization called the Live Action Organization, were another organization that went into the facilities and videotaped things. They discovered that Planned Parenthood employees assisting in aiding prostitution ring, advising patients on how to procure sex-selective abortions, and they would also birth the child alive and put the baby in chemical solution, making it no longer alive. Many employees were fired, and many centers were placed on probation after these videos were released. And the organization itself committed to retraining its staff so it would no longer violate these laws. The Center for Medical Progress is another. This is the most current one that has been posting videos. This is the one that Carly Fiorina was referring to, and she said that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton should watch these. With these videos, the CMP founder is David Daleiden, and he believed that Planned Parenthood was committing a criminal conspiracy to make money off of aborted baby parts. The organization responded with saying that the patients had full knowledge of what was going on and with the procedure, and they were getting no benefits on either side. From Planned Parenthood to the patients, nobody was getting benefits. They were just donating their baby's organs for research. These videos sparked many protests at hundreds of facilities nationwide, and actually the House of Representatives passed legislation to defund the organization just last month on September 18th. Just this month, Planned Parenthood announced it will no longer accept reimbursement for the cost of collecting and shipping fetal tissue to research labs. So they're trying to make what they're doing better. Abortion providers have been threatened with death, and facilities have been attacked and vandalized. Clinics have been the target of bombing, arson, and attacked by chemical weaponry. Just a few years ago, in 2012 in Wisconsin, one of the clinics was actually bombed by an unknown individual who was never caught. And then just this year in Pullman, Washington, another clinic was actually damaged by arsony. So now by taking all this information that I've provided you, you can now make your own opinion of whether or not you are against this organization, and when you watch the debates, you know exactly what they're talking about and what they're referring to. I recommend actually even going and watching these videos. I mean, they do great things. Some of their services are great, some people think it's great and some people think it's not. It is most important to see through the bipartisanship of the issue and just trust the statistics and do your own research on this topic. And then I will close with an Albert Einstein quote that says, "Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth." Thank you.